Welcome to another horrid, terrible, tired, censored episode of the apocalypse. If you see me here on this channel, that means I'm being censored on the channel that matters. That's why that channel is censored, because it matters. Obviously, it matters a lot to certain individuals, many over the years. So if you see me here, we are being censored for the millionth time. And there is not much to report today. But don't worry. The Reich managed to fit in a few abominations here and there. And not just the Reich, Fox News as well, but they are not but an arm of the Reich, are they not? And I forgot to say, since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in need of a guide. I don't know if you knew that, all three of you. But you are in need of a guide. I happen to be that guide, your humble, unfortunate guide, Nicholas. So good to see you, a bloody game. Now, let's just get started on this piece of shit, because I am very tired, but there's a few things that struck me. Of course, this is the first thing I see. Remember, I reported to you yesterday, Donnie said he wasn't of a certain persuasion when talking about the Nobel Peace Prize. In the opening of his Nobel Peace Prize, Can I Have It speech again. A reporter brought it up, to be fair, and then Donnie took it from there, don't worry. One of the opening things that he said that he should get it, he was implying that he should get it, and he's saying, I know I'm not of a certain persuasion, but... So we know what that means and who he was talking about and why he said it and the whole fucking thing. So Fox News, of course, they got to pick it up and run with it. Not that they haven't said this many times over the years. A lot of you have. Obama didn't deserve the Nobel. He didn't do anything. Well, what Obama represented was a new way of approaching things. Like not blanket attacking the entire Middle East. You know what I mean? For 20, 30 years. So the weapons contractors can make a lot of money, and maybe we get a little oil or something out of it. Maybe a few puppet dictators. Who knows? I don't know if the good we got out of it, whatever that is, was worth any of it. Because I can't really think of the good we got out of it. Did we get cheap gas for a long time? $1.50? Something? No. Still got gouged like a motherfucker. So we didn't get that. So what did we get? Oh, jack fucking shit. That's what we got. So Obama represented a new era and a new approach and a new way to do things. And they did give him the Nobel so early because they wanted to make a statement about George Bush and that regime prior, that we like the no war approach. And that's what Obama stands for. And he pretty much lived up to that, except for the Syria thing. I didn't like that at the end. I didn't like seeing Barack Obama running around trying to drum up support to, have some type of mission in Syria. And that lasted years too, didn't it? But he mostly held to his credo of no wars, except for the end. So I understand why they gave it to him. And I told you before, they were trying to make a statement, and I believe they made it, and I believe it was necessary. It was an important statement, because I don't know about you, but back during that time when Barack got elected, and we had just gotten ourselves, since 2001, involved with, 3-4 different Muslim countries. Troops in the fucking desert for decades. That was the result. I don't really know if it did us any good at all, honestly. It sure cost a lot, not to mention the cost, what it did to the deficit, etc. Then there's the loss of life, loss of limb, all that. My God. So I understand why they gave it to Barack, and I don't agree that he didn't deserve it. Because at that time, in this country and in this world, we needed somebody that was about no new wars. Because we had enough of that. So I don't agree with the premise. And honestly, Donnie's not fit to shine Barack's shoes. Barack has class. If nothing else. Donnie couldn't come close to class. If he tried. But let's read this. I digress too much. I'm tired and rambling. So this is Fox, the couch in the morning, the classic bullshit setup. This guy is more deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize than any other leader on the planet, and certainly more than Barack Obama, who did nothing. Well, that's what we wanted him to do, nothing. Donnie has bombed at least 3 countries so far that we know of. There's a bit of a difference between the two and their philosophies. Wouldn't you say, son? I would. In a normal world, Trump would have been awarded the Nobel Prize. If he doesn't get it, the Nobel Prize becomes meaningless. Wow. I had forgotten they said that. At the end, that part. Meaningless, you say, if the convicted felon in the White House doesn't get it. The guy that staged a coup against his own country. And we all watched it on television, so don't pretend it didn't happen, son, please. Keep some of your dignity. The guy who tried to overthrow his government, stole 3,000 classified docs that I guarantee passed some or all off to God knows who. First name that comes to mind is Vlad, of course. His master. Not to mention he just bombed 3 countries his first 6 months in office. Last time was straight up warmongering. Dropped the mother of all bombs. Shot 200 missiles or something into Syria. Sent an armada towards North Korea till Ann Coulter and the right-wing machine basically talked shit on him. Nobody wanted any more fucking war. We were all worn out. Even us that didn't have to go fight it. We were worn out even. So even Ann Coulter and the machine didn't fucking want it. So Donnie had to play nice after that. Because he saw that his people, the last thing they wanted was a new fucking war. Now it's a whole nother story. Now they love annexation. They love the thought of different wars. They love the thought of it all. It's not the same as the first term. We're past the point of any shame. They left shame at the door. Donnie learned a lesson last time. Don't give him a chance to stop your coup. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So things will be well in place long before election time. And I mean both elections. We about to have martial law in D.C. on Monday. Or it's about to be federalized, which is the same thing, but I'll get to that. This notion, again, I told you, Donnie and these people, you all think, oh, well, the black guy got it, so Donnie should get it. Are you fucking kidding me? What has Donald Trump shown that where he deserves a Nobel? Has he shown a philosophy of not starting war? No, he hasn't. Not at all whatsoever. He's bombed 3 countries already. Fucking week 1, he was talking about annexing Canada and Greenland and fucking everything. Yeah, that's not peacemaking talk, son. That's Adolf Hitler talk. That's the furthest thing from peacemaking talk you could fucking have. So again, this attitude that, oh, well, we got to give it to Trump because Barack got it. No, fuck you. No, we don't. Or no, Switzerland, whoever runs this shit doesn't. There's an obvious difference between the two men. Their philosophy on how the country should run. Barack basically ran almost his whole administration of no new wars. Don't jump into war just to make the contractors happy and whoever happy. Barack displayed that. Donnie did not. Again, the first 6 months of his first term, absolute warmonger till he was shamed by his own base. This term, annexation, troops on our streets, masked men with machine guns kidnapping people, concentration camps, son. None of this is exaggeration, by the way. Not in the slightest. And bombing of 3 countries at least. We got to look at a signal chat where Stephen Miller and others basically laid out the plan and almost used these exact words. We're going to be able to extort Egypt and Europe once we take the Suez. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what they said. We got to look at that, see that. The inner workings of the machine of the Reich. How they talk to each other. What they talk about. We got to see it word for fucking word. The nefarious bullshit Miller, Vance, all of them want to do. Like seize the Suez Canal and extort Europe and extort Egypt. It's in the damn chat. Go back and read it again, son. I know so many things happen we forget, don't we? I don't. So here we go again. Certainly more than Barack Obama. No, he doesn't, because there's a totally different philosophy in governing that they have. Donnie's a 4-year-old with a bunch of toys that he can't wait to use because he thinks it's fun, because he doesn't have to do the fighting, ever. Barack, didn't have that philosophy, wasn't eager to jump into a war somewhere. Fucking ridiculous. Not to mention the domestic policy. Last term again, policy of separating children from their parents intentional. For maximum cruelty and evil. Why else would they do it? Or why else would Donnie and Stevie do it? We're starting to hear whispers of that again, that policy coming back to life. I know Donnie didn't do it last time, right? He would never do that, right? He's the fucking Antichrist. That's the least he'll do, son. Wait till he comes knocking on your door, and it doesn't matter if you voted for him. Irrelevant. The knocka stilla coming. Whether you wanted to or not. Meaningless. Whether I wanted to or not. It's going to knock on my door too. Everyone's. Thanks to you wonderful people that chose this. So right off the bat, Fox News playing the kind of race card. Oh, well, if the black guy got it, why can't Donnie? If Donnie doesn't get it, it's meaningless. That's the most ridiculous statement ever. That's like saying if Hitler didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. And if you want to argue, you can't compare him to Hitler. Oh, yeah. Did you hear about the concentration camps? How could you not? Donnie did a commercial for the one down in Florida. Have you seen the masked men with machine guns grabbing people, some of them U.S. citizens? Have you seen the troops on your own streets? Does that remind you of anything? And again, please don't pretend you care about the law because you voted for a convicted felon. So lose that argument. Does it remind you of something, son? Let's go to Rosie O'Donnell. I know how you people love her. She's talking about Trump, of course. She's talking to, it looks like, Chris Cuomo on News Nation, whatever the hell that is. Well, he is cruel, criminal, and mentally unstable man. I think he's the worst thing to ever happen to the United States, and his cruelty knows no bounds. Indeed. Rosie gets it, man. That's why she's in Ireland right now. She's one of the smart ones. And she knows what she sees. That's why I'm telling you, other people on his list, you should do what Rosie did. Get the fuck out the country. Schiffs, Obamas, Clintons. You know who I'm talking about. Pelosi might want to go too. Because he after her. Because he got to make this Epstein shit go away, man. He would throw his grandma under the bus to make this Epstein shit go away. So yes, his cruelty knows no bounds. And again, I'm starting to hear about that policy making a comeback where they separate the children intentionally. Not that it's not bad enough that they did it the first time. And then him and his ex-hooker wife go there and she's wearing a jacket that says, "I don't really care, do you?" When they go to one of the detention centers back during the first term. Do you understand what level of evil and cruelty I'm talking about here? Think about someone taking your young child from you as a deterrent. And you know what? You know what I saw in Melania and Donald Trump when they went to visit that detention center during the first term? When she wore the jacket, "I don't really care, do you?" I saw anger in them. They were angry that they had to go do this for their image. They were angry at you and me and everyone else that had a problem with it. It was like a little child that has to, being forced to go apologize to someone. Do you understand the level of maturity? The level of evil? Excuse me, I should say the level of immaturity. The level of evil we are talking about. It ain't a fucking joke, man. It never was. As funny as the Rubes think it is, or was, or will be, I'm here to fucking tell you, man, you all gonna be crying in the end. I mean bawling at what you have wrought. It is not funny. I was standing in a convenience store a few hours ago, and there were two young white men. They were obviously like country. This area is kind of a mix. There is some country area around. They had the cowboy boots under the jeans. They both had a similar shirt. One had a beer t-shirt, of course. Bush beer or something like that. I don't remember. They were very cliche, kind of country boys. Nothing wrong with that. The way they looked, I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not making fun of them. I heard some of their conversation. I heard one of them say to the other one, "Her family's liberal, but I don't think she is." Now that mattered to them. They got that from somewhere, their parents, I'm sure. And I thought to myself, how lost are they, man? They're stuck in the MAGA thing because they're young men influenced by older people in their community. And that's the thought process. Well, Jason Boebert and you know, his wife Bobo, Lauren Bobo, they're MAGA. They're not liberal. Look how it worked out for them. My point is, this is a real thing. And those young men and so many, their mother, father, they're probably the same thought process. They don't understand what they have done. They don't understand where their fantasy takes them. Takes all of us. I do. And I know this ain't no fucking game. And a great example is Donald Trump and his wife with a jacket that says, "I don't care, do you?" amidst a scandal of intentional removal of children from their parents so they never see them again. If you down with that, don't dare let Jesus pass through your lips, son. Don't fucking dare. That's the irony of it all. They're the God-fearing folk, right? No, they isn't. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm talking a level of evil that most people can't understand. Taking people's children away forever. As policy. Not by accident, son. Now we got guys in masks with machine guns getting $50,000 bonuses of your money, of course, not Donnie's. To kidnap people. Do you understand the level of evil I'm talking about? Concentration camps that men never leave, most with no criminal record. In El Salvador. Do you understand the level of evil I'm talking about? If you down with any of this, again, you can't let the word Jesus pass through your lips in any serious way. Back to Rosie. His cruelty knows no bounds indeed, and you will see that if you haven't seen it already. I sure have. I've noticed. That's why I'm telling. Rosie's saying it outright. I went to Ireland because of him. Because I know how dangerous he is. So do I. That's why I'm here talking to you. All three of you. Not because I enjoy it, not because it's fun, not because I get any substantial money out of it. Nothing. Only the direness. Only the direness. And that's where we're at, son. We're in a dire situation. That's why I ain't got time to debate people, trade insults, whatever the fuck you want to waste your last 3 minutes on earth doing, son. I don't have time for it. I got a message to put out. If I don't put it out, it's my ass. And there ain't a lot of time left. So you spend your last 3 minutes how you want to. I can't walk that path with you, son. I'm very sorry. And if you're down with the cult, you down with the Antichrist, and yes, he is the Antichrist. I know it to the core of me. I can't walk that path with you, son. I'm very sorry. Because that path ends up in the abyss, and I don't care if you agree, acknowledge it, understand it. That's where you're going. I can't go with you. I'm sorry. So Rosie gets it, man. And I take it a lot more serious because all this bullshit It's all going away. This man is here to destroy, son. Look at the nightmare he has wrought in 6 months. Multiple concentration camps. They're advertised by Homeland Security on a White House, account. They're giving cool names like Speedway and Alcatraz. Can you even fucking fathom how lost you are if you're down with any of this? And you best, little advice for everybody. You best acknowledge and take serious how serious this is. You think it's all fun and games. You think it's just messing with some liberals or something. Oh no, it goes so much farther and deeper than that. And you will learn that the hard way. And by the time those tears start coming out your eyes, it will be too late. Here again, I don't really want to spend a lot of time doing these that much anymore because I'm sure there's millions of these stories. Some Trump supporter that got utterly fucking screwed by the Reich. We tried to warn you. That's all I can say. Me and 100,000 other people yelling their ass off online for years. But you knew better. I'm not even going to say their names, not important. Sounding off. Trump is a moron. He should take his tariffs and shove them up his ass. Jim and I are both on blood thinners that U.S. cost is $500 plus a month for each of us if they get it in America. They don't order it from somewhere, I guess. So $500 plus a month, that's just for the blood thinners, and that's each. I was recently put on Jardiance for diabetes, another $480 a month. Okay, now you're talking $1,000 a month just for her. And Jim takes a breather, another $350, so he's almost at $1,000 a month for him. 2 G's a month just on their medications, and they got to pay their bills too. This is why America will fall. You can't sustain shit like this. It's too cruel, it's too disgusting, and it robs too many people blind. It can't keep going, so it's got to fall. We obviously cannot afford those prices. Yes, that is with Medicare Part D. That's with Medicare. So we have been getting these drugs from Canada or the UK. Eliquis costs $220 for a 3-month supply. Xrelto costs $99 for a 3-month supply. Jardiance $200 3 months. Breathers $135 3-month supply. So that's very, a lot less money than they would have had to spend. You're talking now for 3 months. I mean, the debt, the costs went from everything to nothing almost. That's the difference. And Americans, my fellow Americans, do you ever ask yourself why they charge us so much? I had a girlfriend a long time ago who had asthma. She needed inhalers, and we ran out. I called the hospital. I said, can I buy an inhaler off of you? Oh, no, you can't do that, and blah, blah, blah. I said, why? Because they're so dangerous? We all know why I couldn't buy an inhaler. A stupid fucking steroid inhaler for someone who has asthma. You can't get high on the motherfucker. No, I got to come in for a visit, $800, maybe you get a few other medications, $1,000. You know what? It's a racket, son. That's why I couldn't buy an inhaler. That's why you go to other countries and just buy a fucking inhaler. So their costs went from everything to nothing. I got an email tonight from Canada Drug Warehouse that I have to reorder by the 14th or the huge tariffs are kicking in on the 29th, adding 80 to 100 per month on all of our meds. It's ridiculous that we have the highest drug prices in the world. Even with the tariffs, it's still cheaper than buying American drugs. Way cheaper. That's fucking pathetic. But it's going to cost these people more that they can't afford to pay. Again, little children. This is why so many of us were yelling for years not to vote for the orange fucking maniac. Because you would be voting against your own interests. One of many reasons many of us yelled at the camera. These people are finding out the hard way. Donnie's grifting. Your financial stability is a worthy or acceptable sacrifice for Donnie's grift. I'm sorry. We begged you not to do it. But you knew better. Let me finish this thing. It's ridiculous that we have the highest drug prices in the world. Seniors cannot afford these prices for needed drugs with no generic in the U.S. Drug companies rather see us dead than give us affordable drugs. Yep. Now Trump is taking that away from us too. What an awful president. Trump only wants to prove he is right about tariffs. He has to be right about everything. If you look at him cross-eyed, he fires you or prosecutes you. Well, yeah. I voted for Trump. I truly wish I had not. Biggest narcissist I've ever seen. He not making America great again, but he sure is making it more expensive. So this person didn't care about any of that other stuff before her drugs got hiked. This is the problem with MAGA. Until it comes knocking on their door personally, they don't give a fuck. That's why your country's over. Fucking over. Because you don't give a fuck. Until it comes knocking on your door. Just like the poem about the Nazi concentration camps. The person didn't give a fuck as group after group got taken. Then it came to their door and no one was left to speak for them. Now, this woman has no one left to speak for her. She's just going to have to pay more because Donnie's on the grift. And expect to go through this about 1,000 more times because he can fuck with the Dow and make money on that with the tariff grift. He can get money out of countries and institutions with the tariff grift, promises, favors. We watched it just happen with Apple, and that wasn't the first time or company or country. But again, the team sport mentality, be it racism, whatever reason you like that team, it's going to cost you everything. It is costing you everything now, and it will continue to get worse. And it's going to cost the rest of us everything. Because you said to yourself, rapist, convicted felon, well, he's a Republican. I can't vote Democrat. That's why your country's over. That's stupidity. So sad. And this is what it's over for, this fucking grifter. With a shelf full of Donnie merchandise, MAGA merchandise. Right in the White House, stacks of them. Almost so he can sell them to people. Like a real carnival barker and shit. And he had the president of Azerbaijan next to him. And you could tell he was so uncomfortable. And he just had no interest in this. And I'm sure he was thinking, I'm here about my country and America and what we can do maybe in the future. And this fucking freak is showing me MAGA hats. Not just MAGA hats, Trump 2028 hat. the President of the United States, who allegedly took an oath to the Constitution that says you get 2 terms, has his merchandise in the White House on display like a fucking $3 grifter. And one of the pieces of merchandise is for him to run for an illegal 3rd term that would violate the Constitution. Not that any of that matters, because the Reich and Donnie don't care. My point is, that's what level abject fucking traitor he is to this nation. He would subvert the Constitution literally in the White House while being president, unfortunately for us. You people would have rubbed shit on your own walls if Joe Biden had a Biden 2028 hat and he was president at this moment. Are you fucking kidding me? These aren't jokes. This is written law. The president doesn't get to be king or dictator and stay forever. 2 terms, that's it. It's real simple for every other president. Except when Donnie loses, he stages a goddamn coup. And again, how stupid is everyone? He staged a coup last time. Any jerk-off making an argument that he's going to leave in 4 years. Are you fucking kidding me? Surrounded with nothing but sycophants, he's building a ballroom that won't be done for 2 fucking years. He's not leaving. And anyone who says he is, you're living in a fucking fantasy world. We watched him stage a coup. Again, let's get a look at all the Donnie merchandise. Stacks of Donnie merchandise right in the White House. Just like a true low-class $3 fucking grifter would have. And again, a slogan that subverts the Constitution. Basically says, I want to be king and dictator. Trump 2028. And he says to the leader of Azerbaijan, as he was holding one of the hats, everyone wants me to run again in 2028. I watched the clip. I heard him say it. No, everyone doesn't want you to run again, Donnie. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. You're in the apocalypse. He's the Antichrist. I'm sorry. I didn't want him to be. And I didn't want him to be in power again. Some of you did, though. Want him to be in power. I keep hoping to wake up and to see the thing that tells me, no, you're off. He's not. It's not what you think. It's not going to go to Adolf territory. It's already 3/4 of the way there. Monday will really finally, a lot of people will see, okay, yeah, this is going straight to fucking nosedive dystopia. So again, he's holding a hat. He says to the leader of Azerbaijan, who just wants nothing to do with this. He knows how tacky and ridiculous what's going on in front of the cameras is, as Donnie is showing off the MAGA merchandise, saying they want me to run again for a 3rd illegal term. Cringe doesn't begin to fucking describe it. And here's the thing. This is what struck me today. I wasn't even going to do a video, but this has been bothering me. This needs to be talked about, and this worries me. I know where we're going, but to actually see it happen is a whole nother experience. This is Donnie on his money laundering thing. Where else would he put it? On Monday, a press conference will be held at the White House, which will essentially Stop violent crime in Washington, D.C. It has become one of the most dangerous cities anywhere in the world. It will soon be one of the safest. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. Like a true cunt, he ends it with a thank you for your attention. Okay. We had an incident with Big Balls recently who just, the most famous Doge person just happened to get attacked in D.C. by black guys. Wow, that's very convenient. And Donnie had just been talking about he had the right to take over D.C. and stuff like that. Now, and we've already watched him do it in California, so this isn't a surprise to me. But again, to actually see it play out, it does have an impact. He said several times he has the right to take it over. He's going to send troops in. I've already seen him do it. This time it's for another reason. We've crossed another line. It's because Donnie doesn't like the crime that's going on there, which has been down for 2 straight years, by the way. But that doesn't matter. None of this is about illegal immigration or crime or anything like that. There's one thing it's about: subjugation of the American population. We're the only country with a population full of gun owners. He needs to set the precedent of keeping troops on the street. He's already done that with Cali. Set that precedent. We all went about our business. They didn't riot it. So now it's part of our lives. The first time I said he was going to bring troops out in D.C., I believed him. Now we're almost there. Will he call it martial law, or will he call it federalizing D.C.? I don't give a fuck what he calls it. I'm going to call it martial law, because that's what it is. It's a military takeover of D.C., no matter what name you slap the fuck on it. Irrelevant to me. Irrelevant to the agenda. The agenda is get the troops on the street. And you voted for it, some of you, my God. This worries me. This would be a step forward for the Reich into dropping more of the facade. And again, this time they're not putting the illegal immigration blanket on it. They're just putting it on it. Donnie just doesn't like the crime. And, it just so happens that our most famous Doge employee, the sociopath that used to protect pedophiles online, he gets attacked. A few days later, time to deploy the troops. What else could it be? And again, he can call it federalizing it, whatever. I don't care what they call it, because I know what it is. Military takeover of D.C. Already did it in California. It's normal now. It's too late. So again, I don't care what name they slap on it on Monday. If he says we're sending troops in, I consider that martial law. I consider that a huge step forward for the Reich. Now we have a new excuse to deploy United States armed forces on your fucking streets. America is so over. I'm sorry. I didn't choose this. You did. And no, the Hitler comparisons were never ridiculous, not even in the first term. Not if you knew what you were looking at. We're here at the end. Like I said, abominations, they managed to slip a couple in, like that announcement on Monday. We're going to have martial law or troops on the streets of D.C. Whatever he's going to say. Whatever disgusting vomit comes out of his fucking burger hole. The most crooked entity I've ever seen has a lot to say about Nancy Pelosi and stock trading. This motherfucker runs a grift every 3 seconds. He took a $400 million bribe in your face and is charging you $1 billion to fix it, son. That's what level mark you are. He's all over the Epstein stuff. He was his best fucking friend. That's how much of a mark you are, unless you don't care. He's running a grift a fucking second. He's got a Donnie Gold card that you could buy citizenship for $5 million. But here we go. Let's listen to the lies about Nancy Pelosi. Crooked Nancy Pelosi and her very interesting husband beat ever hedge fund. I think he meant to write every. Her very interesting, in quotes, husband. What's he trying to say? Like he's gay and the gay lover thing and all that? Is that where he's going with this? I have a feeling Donnie's been with men as the Antichrist, as Caesar. Since we are New Rome, they would all be into having sex with males and females, including Donnie. And I'm not the only one that thinks that either. Again, you got to know what you're looking at. Interesting husband beat ever hedge fund in 2024. How do I know that's true? Because Donnie's saying it, the most crooked, habitual liar I've ever seen in my life? But people will parrot it because the right-wing grift machine says it. So sad, that's what America's been reduced to. These two very average minds beat all of the super geniuses on Wall Street. Donnie brags about his cognition test, his dementia test. Do you understand me? Beat all the super geniuses on Wall Street, thousands of them. How do I know that? It's all inside information. Oh, you mean like when Donnie manipulates the market with his tariffs, and then the Dow goes down a couple thousand, and then he tells all his boys, yo, I'm about to pull the tariffs back. It's going to jump up 2,000 in like 5 seconds. You mean like that? You know that song and dance we've been through fucking 6-7 times in 6 months? It's all inside info. Is anybody looking into this? She is a disgusting degenerate who impeached me twice on no grounds and lost. How are you feeling now, Nancy? Nah, he was impeached in the House twice. Once for trying to extort the leader of Ukraine, and from the note I read, yeah, it was straight up extortion. Which he had no right to do, by the way. The second time was for trying to overthrow the U.S. government. I believe. I would say those impeachments were warranted. And we watched the coup on TV. It's not like we didn't get to see it. You know what I mean? I don't need a right-wing grifter to tell me what happened. I could just turn on the TV and watch the recording. But I know in right-wing grift land, Russian financed land, don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what the fucking hack fucking podcaster says. Like I said, abominations, he's calling Nancy Pelosi a disgusting degenerate. The most crooked individual I've ever seen. He makes Richard Nixon look like a saint, and Richard was crooked from second one, son, that he took his first breath. So again, throw Nancy's name out there because that works on the rubes. Throw Clinton's name out there, that works on the rubes. Throw, whoever's name out there, just to get your mind off the Epstein stuff and that Donnie was Jeff's best fucking friend. That's what you got your name on. I take it off. But what really worries me, because that's all I got for today, the press conference on Monday, man. The meeting with Putin in Alaska, too. I'm worried about that bullshit. But really, on Monday, is he just going to straight up deploy troops? Is that much of the facade going to go away? Will the Rubes defend it? Of course they will. That's a liberal area. We don't care. That's so sad, son. You know why? Because that literal attitude, that literal philosophy is why your country is literally over and it's never coming back. Again, there's not going to be any Democrat to come save the little children's this time. We all ride the wave this time, including the Rube. Just like that woman whose medications are about to go up big time. Monday, we gonna see something. And what we're most likely going to see, according to Donnie's message, what I'm gathering from it, is we may see U.S. troops deployed again for now a different reason, just because Donnie, doesn't like the crime there. And, one Doge person got attacked. That's not much of a reason. At least in LA, there was the pretense of, there's protests, there's problems. Yeah, the LAPD is quite, used to protests. They know how to handle it. And then they stayed for like an extra 2 months. So, that kind of gave the game away that the real objective was just get troops on the street in a liberal area so we can do whatever we want there. Because we're going to need that precedent in the future. Like on Monday. So what you'll most likely see on Monday is the second deployment of U.S. troops on your fucking soil for a second reason. And for the 3 or 4 people that are watching that don't have their name on this, that I'm trying to help guide through it, the Rubes don't understand what that means. It's a game to them. It's NASCAR, it's WWF, it's whatever. They don't understand their country's over. They don't understand they voted for the end. They won't understand that till it's too late, but you do understand. So you know how horrid, how dire it is if he dares throw the National Guard on DC streets for nothing. There's no riots, there's no looting, you know what I mean? There's crime, yeah, it's a major city. Every major city has a lot of crime. And it wouldn't matter who ran it. Irrelevant. It's a major city. The money's there. That's why there's crime. Not that there isn't crime in red rural Rube states and areas. They have the highest murder rates, actually. But it's not about numbers. It's about a Reich who hates minorities and the liberal ideology, just like Adolf Hitler. That's what he hated, too. That's why he locked up the liberals first. Last thing in his way before full Reich. Same situation here in America. All these years later, got to get them liberals out the way. Get the military in them liberal areas. And again, you rubes don't understand that California and New York, they pay your welfare bills for all the red states that make no money. You really shouldn't be rooting for their failure. Donnie doesn't care because he's rich. He'll be fine. You won't be, though. There'll be no one left to pay your welfare bill for your, state that's in hock. And that's just the reality of this country. So I'd really be, if I were you, I'd be rooting for California. I'd be rooting for New York State. They pay your rent, son. What are you going to do if they go away? You'll see. You'll find out because they will go away. Why? Because the Reich and Donnie will make them go away. We'll ruin the groove. Because you wanted it. You thought it was cool. Wait till the welfare check don't show up. One, because Donnie and his buddies stole all the money, and, California and New York are in sharp decline because Donnie decided to fuck with them. And deploy troops and fuck with businesses and have guys en masse run around with machine guns, causing chaos and havoc. It's going to get so bad, and eventually a mark will come your way. And you must say no. And I can't believe I'm sitting here talking about the second deployment of troops on U.S. soil in, a 6-month time span. So much of your country is already gone. It's so sad to see so many people just go about their lives and not even notice. Another piece will be lost on Monday, most likely. I mean, I can't guarantee what Donnie's going to do, but he's kind of let us know already, I can take it over if I want to. I have the right. No, you don't have the right. But no one will stop him. So on Monday, you're about to lose another huge piece of your country and your rights and your freedom. If he deploys troops in D.C. Sad to see, man. Sad to see. And I don't want to argue with anyone about it. I don't want to listen to you try and prove me wrong when I wake up every day and I see that I'm right. What point is there to that? That's a trap. It's called debating the ashes. Again, I've said it before. It's called wasting your time on disingenuous arguments. That same person will be arguing all the way to the edge of the abyss that Donnie's taken him to. And they'll still be talking. They'll still be trying to make comparisons. They'll still be trying to debate the goodness and righteousness of evil that Donnie is doing and the Reich is doing. They'll still be trying to convince the world that they're the good guys and you're the bad guy. The one that dares not see this as beautiful. So when that mark comes, you must say no, and I got to get going because I'm very tired. Of course, if you'd like to help out, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. I'd appreciate it if you would. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And I dread to see what happens on Monday. Until the next episode.